Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 7 of Gopherwatch League, the final week of the Gopherwatch League right here, right now. And right in this today, we do have a very exciting matchup here. We have the Nekos versus the Hamsters. The Nekos are the current 7th seed with a -1 differential, and the Hamsters are the current 8th seed with a -2 differential. They're currently the closest team in the league at the moment. So this is going to be, I think, a very exciting game just because of how good these two teams are just overall. And coming in to break down all the action with me today is going to be the one and the only Naga.
Hey, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game today, I think. It's just really cool to see how well these teams match up, especially in, I think, the tank battle and the DPS battle is gonna be really cool to watch. Will Fish, obviously known for his Hanzo and Tracer, and I think it's gonna be absolutely amazing. But I'm looking forward to this match. I think they're really closely put together, and yeah, it's gonna have huge implications for the playoffs.
Yeah, and huge implications for the playoffs are right. We're talking kind of ahead of time, and we mentioned that actually either of these teams could jump up to the 5th seed overall, depending on how some of these other matches play out. And I think it looks like the teams got a little bit flipped around. It looks like the Hamsters are on the Nekos side, and the Nekos are on the Hamsters side. So hopefully we'll get that sorted out, and the setups correct in a second. But breaking down the teams right now, I know for the Hamsters, which are currently the team in blue, but are typically the team in red in these. Oh, wait, no, I think they're just going to switch around the names. Yes, okay. So the Hamsters are going to be the team in blue. There we go. Got that all sorted out. But for the Hamsters, I know that Penguino Man is out, so they did pick up Ninja Drew as a fill for this game. So what are your thoughts on that there, Naga?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty interesting. I have, played with Drew quite a bit, and he is a very good player, and I'm really excited to see him play. Obviously, he's got a good Sombra and he's got a good soldier look, but we'll see how that plays in with the fact that they do have a Kua on support. Not as main role, obviously, I think, but I think it'll still work out with flip flop. This Hamsters team does have a lot of good underlying chemistry, as they're really good friends as well. So I think it'll be awesome to watch.
Yeah, and being good friends is a great thing in the league. I think building that team chemistry, being confident with the teams, confident with the people you play with, is really all you need in some games because sometimes it is that mental game on top of the physical game. And at least I have my teammates tell me all the time that you just got to kind of like keep your mental in there. And even if you're not performing on a certain map, that doesn't mean you can't turn it around. That doesn't mean you can't mount a massive comeback out of nowhere. So I'm hoping to see. I mean, obviously, it's going to be the Nekos and the Hamsters. They've played together for 5 weeks. They know how this whole shebang works. They've scrimmed together. They've practiced together. They got all that. So hopefully the teams are going to kind of be these like cohesive units. And I'm really hoping to see if Ninja Drew is able to kind of fill his role, fill up to Penguino Man's shoes, living his legacy in a little bit. And I believe that we will be hopping into game very shortly. So anything else you want to look at before this, Naga? See anything you want to analyze? And the first game is going to be on Ilios control map. What are your expectations here?
If I'm the Nekos here, I'm shaking a little bit in my boots because this is the Hamsters' hometown. Like, Jamie will pop off here as Lucio. She is well known for just being a menace on Ilios. I don't know. Maybe they bring out the Cass and try to mitigate some of that Lucio impact, but I'm not sure. What do you think the Nekos have to do here to take it to the Hamsters war?
What do the Nekos have to do to take it to the Hamsters? It's going to be a big question. I think it's going to be really all about enabling their DPSs. And you do see that there is the Cass choice and the Tourbillon choice. I think that's interesting competition as a whole. And we do see the flip-flop Lucio right there. So it's kind of what we expected. We do have a Hog from Caber as well. So interesting to see how this actually breaks down as the players are going to start heading out there. Looks like, I think the
Oh,
I think that both teams are a little bit slowed down at spawn right here for some reason, but maybe they'll come up.
They're dueling. They're dueling. They're doing the hammer duel.
Oh,
dear.
got it. I see. Okay, I see what's happening right now. This is gonna be Fedora Master versus Whalefish, and these are some scary DPS is going to be.
We've got some Pokemon gym battles going on right now.
Maximum power.
Yeah, and I don't even.
Looks like Fedora's got the edge on this one. He does.
Yes, Fedora does end up picking up that elimination. I believe he gets point control, and yeah, everybody just goes.
We're starting
okay.
out this series with a bang. Oh, and now the teams decide to move out. Okay.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of fun 1v1 to settle it. Interesting, Fedora Master does take that. I know Fedora Master is a very well-known Torbjorn within the community here, and it looks like
Whalefish is an
actually
early
gonna be
pick
breaking
on
down.
Jamie.
Yes.
Huge.
Whalefish does get that early pick right there onto Jamie. He's gonna look for a few more, but the Hamsters do have the point control right now, so they're just gonna look for as much as they can. As Haber also does get picked out
right now with 2 down. Yeah, they're slowly trying to advance. Whalefish is trying to zone Jamie away. We've got the Nekos posturing on cages.
Torbjorn come out there real quick. Not really able to find that much, as I believe Sick Buckle does pick up the elimination on Fedora right there. Flip Flop does get one on the enemy Mercy, and
they're still trying to go for though. They're still on.
Yeah,
they're investing ults too. This is very winnable for the Nekos. And now that they're up 1, they're up 2 now. Nort Logic popping off with the nano. And the plug.
Also picking up one onto Jamie right there. I believe this is going to go in the Nekos' favor here, but the Hamsters doing a great job of extending the time on point. I mean, off that initial win that Fedora Master got them as Torbjorn versus Torbjorn, now it's kind of evened out, but the amount of time on the clock for the Hamsters already is so much greater, so they're probably gonna have a pretty big reset. They do have the Moria ultimate as well as a few others building up right now, so it's not like they're at any disadvantage. They just kind of play for time and play for the ults here.
They're shoving pretty quickly into the cages. Yep, the Cole comes out. Nort gets the hog though, and it's not looking good for the Hamsters here.
Yeah, the Coalescence wasn't really able to find exactly what they wanted. I believe Cathix hit a very good anti onto their opposing Moria, and that's going to cause Akua to switch off Moria onto Baptiste. So maybe a little more favorable team comp as they look to regroup and make a new push in.
Kins have been doing a very good job of checking Jamie as well. Her Lucius has not been getting much done. She's trying to find an angle to engage, but they're just playing around cages, so she can't really get any boots.
Yeah, and looks like they're gonna come up the right side this time, switching up the strategy a little bit and getting far into their back line.
Huge anti!
With a huge anti, yeah. I'll let you take that away. The ball, the Nekos ball is in the back line doing a lot of work. Ball Sigma pushing out, and they've held on to this point for a while. They do have 3 ultimates as well. Ninja Drew did have his ult, not able to play it. So now I think they're gonna have time for one more quick reset. The Hamsters gotta get in pretty. Oh no, the Hamsters actually take that point right there. So it's gonna be pretty even.
The Hamsters take the point, but what I'm looking at right now is they've got 4 ults to face with their 3 of their own. So it's gonna have to come down to ult efficiency here.
Yeah, ult efficiency is huge, and with big ults like Sigs and Anna's and Hanzo and Cassidy, there's a lot of stuff to play with here. This is basically gonna be the last fight that's going to decide who wins this. You see the Sig ult come out, Rex 2, and the Dragon.
Oh, but the anti is good.
Anti is good. They picked up 2 there, but Doormaster's trading back onto Catholic. Not really able to find much. They do tap the point at 99. But I believe
really
the Nekos are going to take it here. Yes, the Nekos did take the point for now, so I think we're going to see a 99 versus 99 on the first map here.
Can they get a touch?
Get a touch with the ball. Yes, they got the touch with the ball. Caber goes in, get the touch, and now it's Ninja Drew and Akua. Akua drops the window.
Oh, the window visor.
This window visor doing some serious work.
And they take it.
Get out of my way,
Yep.
or I'll run you
I think
over.
that's it right there.
Over here.
Yep.
Drink up.
Hamsters do take
Really
the
good
first part of this
choice.
map right here. But that one went super close though. That was interesting because they both got to cap on 99, and I'm interested to see what happens when, you know, they don't start the game with Torbjorn versus Torbjorn in the center. You know, like I'm interested to see, as much as it was fun to see once. I mean, I'm interested to see what an actual game looks like on the second map of Ilios here.
I think what ended up actually winning that for them was Jamie's beat at the very end. The Lucio actually basically mitigated 2 of the ultimates that the Nekos used, and so when they came back for the recontest, they had so many better resources in order to contest. But as we move on to Lighthouse, we're gonna be looking at Trey will be on the Reinhardt as they face off against Cabra's Ball. Let's see how this works out.
Completely different comp kind of for the Nekos in this game, so I think maybe they realized the previous comp wasn't really working out. You see that the Hamsters basically doing the exact same thing they did last game. It worked out for them in the first game, but the new map is a completely new game, as Cassidy does pick up that onto Fedora right there. And it looks like, I believe, yes, Sin's gonna pick up 1 and 2 with the big dive onto Akua right there, as Gulf does pick up North, and I believe the point control will go over to the Nekos. As much as flip-flop Jamie wants to try and contest it, there's not really much you can do as a Lucio here. You're gonna have to back up.
Yeah, I think they just eked that point out. I think right now it's gonna be interesting because I think objectively the Nekos are at a bit of a disadvantage with the Moira on their team. So they're looking for very fast engages with Reinhardt, and this is a lesson that they just used. While on the thought, currently they're even as the Torb and the Lucian fall for respective teams.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the Reinhardt out from Sin right there. The hammer just actually that makes it so the Hamsters aren't really able to push up, and there's some good point control from them and some good ultimate control too. They do still have 2 ultimates. It seems like the window's gonna come out from a
Huge window,
trying to find something.
Go on,
They do get 1 pick off that, but now they need to look to find a way to capitalize. The Reinhardt inside is doing a great job of kind of being the only tank for the Nekos right now, just holding down the point. But Cabra gets in, Jamie gets in. What else can the Nekos do to really hold the point? They got to 70.
Oh, but the Hamsters are all over the point now. Oh, wait.
Whale fish with something huge right there.
Dragon
comes out. Yep. Dragon picks up Caber right there as well.
Oh, and they invest the beat.
I don't know if that was a good invested beat there. You're able to kind of stall, but I mean, you don't have anybody of your team with you. Jamie goes down there, and now who do you have to contest? Fedora going in as a Torbjorn? Like, that's not the ideal contest. So I think the Nekos are just gonna take this. Ninja Jew trying to get in and touch.
All touch is. Yeah, fine.
Looks like there's so many ults coming out from the Nekos here, though. They have the beat, they have coalescence. I don't know, this is they're gonna need something huge here.
Oh, Bomb gets the ball.
Nor does
Window comes out.
Elimination on Sin there.
Really chaotic fight.
This is an absolute mess, whoever wins
Orker
this
is
here.
pumping in the damage. And he looks like the Hamsters are gonna eat this one out. They do.
I'm surprised they're
In
even able to eke that
overtime.
one out. I didn't think, yeah. And they did it well, kind of preserving both Ninja Drew's and Lul's ults right there, so it's gonna come at not that much of a cost either. I think that the Nekos could have just waited, but they decided to invest 3 or 4 ultimates at the exact same time, and that was not that efficient. So hopefully they're gonna be able to get a good recontest here. Ryan does have the
Ooh, an early flux.
ult.
Oh, but Sick Buckle gets 1 with the Deadeye. He gets the Sigma. Fedora gets a pick on the cast. Oh, but Reinhardt shatter.
Ryan with a huge Shannon trying to shove the area. Ball puts out his ult, but Coalescence instantly shuts him down. The Dragon comes out as well. Nobody's on the point to touch. I think it's going to be over. Yes, the Nekos do take the second map right there.
And that was pretty dominant Reinhardt gameplay. As you can see from Sin, just sitting on the point, being that shield, being a constant bulwark for his team.
Yeah. So
do you think that they try to match the Reinhardt on Ruins here?
I don't know. It feels like the first map it was working out for them pretty well, and I think Ruins plays completely different than the previous map. So I think what they have going on will work for Ruins in this specific map. I'm just gonna see. Yeah, I'm just interested to see because this switch from the Nekos has benefited them very much. It feels like the team comp does really play into their advantage here. But Faber's putting in work with the ball, and you can see him already get up there, look for a little bit of early damage, look for a little bit of control, maybe get into the back line, and maybe do some work against their supports.
I will say that the Hamsters have been pretty well known for being pretty reluctant to switch off comps that they really haven't been finding success on. So we'll see if they can adapt to the situation that they're in.
Yeah, with the objective active, it looks like it's going to be kind of like a small fight between Fedora and Nord on the objective. Don't know if they're going to be able to find something. Faber comes in to kind of back up Fedora, and they do demech the D.Va. Low gets two. Nord does pick up one onto Fedora there as Low finds one onto Nord. I believe it's going to go into the Hamsters' favor. Yes, it does, and I think the Nekos are going to have to reset here. So the
Akua may not be playing support, but he's playing Baptiste, so might as well be on DPS.
Baptiste is one of those characters where it can just like kind of act as a DPS if you needed to. I mean, you can put in some serious damage with Baptiste. I'm kind of looking forward to see if this goes to King's Row, but we kind of got to focus on this map. It is 1-1 right now as Nekos do try to dive in, try to get something. Window comes out, able to pick up. They were able to pick up Whalefish right there.
They use the Molten Core, but the Nekos kind of just walk away.
The Nekos,
and they pick up the Sigma too.
Yeah, the Nekos are getting traded. Yeah, Shatter does come out there. Flip-Flop able to pick up one onto Catholic, but I don't know if they have the team comp to actually hold on to this right now. It's just the ball. Ball gets eliminated by Whalefish. It's just going to be Jamie on the point and not really able to do much.
They're trading.
Yeah.
Oh, Whalefish is just hitting us. You can't do anything about that.
You cannot do anything about that, especially when you have somebody so dominant on DPS, playing as Hanzo, playing as this basically like sniper on this map. You know how dominant snipers are when it comes down to this map in general. So he's just able to kind of hold back and defend their supports and also deal a bunch of damage. He does get his ultimate if he wants to use it, and ult advantage is in the favor of the Nekos very, very drastically here.
North moves getting right off the map.
Yeah, definitely some shenanigans going on right there as I believe that we'll just pick up one on Jamie right there. Looks like Sin is kind of trapped into the corner here as he's trying to push back their tanks, able to kind of make some space for the Nekos, and this is gonna be big because this is effectively a fight one.
Cole is
Okay, maybe I'd say a little bit misused Coalescence there in my opinion, able to take out the turret,
they're just asserting their own dominance.
Yeah, as Dragon does come out, not really able to find
they get Dragon for it. Visor, blinking on the left, gets D-Mac. Huge mine.
Ninja Drew actually clinical that visor right there. It's just gonna be Whalefish on the point right now, and he's gonna get picked up very, very quickly. So team kill out there for the Hamsters, and it's still looking very, very even for both these teams, despite having complete different comps going into this. I've never really seen a map where the compositions are just like completely switched. Looks like Ninja Drew's kind of camp out this little corner right here, wait to see if he can get any pickups onto their supports or their backline. Is he able to find anything? I don't know, uninvest the heals in here. Looks like the Nord Logic's gonna dive onto them and they have to back up, but on the front side, Ball does pick up the Reinhardt. It's gonna be big for the Hamsters here if they're gonna be able to hold this one out, because even though they don't have their ultimates, the other team doesn't really have theirs either.
We're looking at last fight territory for the Nekos. They've got to come in here. They've got ults they can use. Just have to make sure they can use them well. Gonna look at Catholics for Nano. Probably gonna go into. Oh, they get an early pick with the Hanzo.
They get the Flux, and the Flux does pick up 2 there, I believe, but Fedora goes down. It's going to come down to a fight on the point. Who gets it? Kind of just stalling time, seeing if they can find anything. Yeah, they do get the point, so I think the Hamsters are going to be forced to reset here and play for this final push off the point.
The Hamsters are gonna be able to take space here, though. The Nekos aren't gonna be able to set up as well as they want to. They did lose both supports and they were all very low.
Yeah, but even with that,
aggressive beat engage here, and they get Fedora as a result. And
they also pick up Ninja Drew, yes. So it's gonna come down to, I think, who has more ults here, and that's gonna be in the favor of the Nekos. Bombs invested, the Dragons invested. Jamie's on to touch, but Anti comes out right there. He's gonna be up to Maul right there, not able to find anything. Is anybody else able to touch? And don't believe so. So first game will go to the Nekos.
Very close game indeed, and a banger of a start.
That was an amazing start right there. The Torb 1v1 was probably the, I don't know,
highlight.
Yeah, I mean, Fedora Master, great play here. But the Torb 1v1 was my personal play of the game. I think Fedora winning that one, even though he didn't win for his team, he won in morale. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Oh, Fedora, that was crazy there, though.
Epic. To be expected.
After that map, where do you think the Hamsters take the Nekos?
Hamsters take the Nekos. I gotta say King's Row. I mean, that's all that makes sense because they have such a dominant Bap Lucio connection, and if they're planning on having a Kua on support again, I think that King's Row is like the common denominator because it's such a dominant map for, you know, Baptistes to get the gold damage and the gold healing if they want. Obviously that might not happen in this high caliber of a game, but it's just, they seem to be kind of rocking with this Bap Lucio connection, and both of them are doing pretty well. So I guess gotta see what they actually decide to choose.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I'm not sure. Oh,
Gibraltar,
So
interesting. Is it? Wait, I think it's actually
okay,
gonna
maybe.
be. I think it's actually not going to be.
We're
Gibraltar
getting
here,
intel
just because.
from
Yeah,
headquarters that it's not Gibraltar.
but yeah, I think it cannot be Gibraltar in
I think
this.
they go KR here, right?
Yeah, I'd assume they go
Right?
KR, right? I mean, they gotta go KR. I would go KR. I don't know. I mean, I'm a Hawks guy. I like KR for our team, but I mean, I think KR is a very balanced map in general. You're able to see this kind of like overtime or even potentially double overtime on top of that. So yeah, you
And
see
I
Spin in
think
the chat. Go KR trust.
it's gonna be interesting if they try to see if we kind of have this Hanzo duel come up throughout the series with Akua and Whalefish. And yep, there's KR. It'll be interesting to see, right? And we saw how much of an impact Whalefish was having on Ilios, getting pick after pick, winning fights for his team, just because they're up a man early.
And it's not. It might not actually be KR. I think Sin just said KR is a meme, and it maybe Eigenwald. Oh yeah, I think it is Eigenwald. Yeah. So fancy. Okay. What do you think? Okay, what do you think the Hamsters? Break down the Hamsters' kind of like thought process in choosing Eigenwald here.
It's interesting, right? Because Eichenwald is good first point for the Reinhardt kind of, or even Orisa. It's really easy to hold first point if you get on a roll. But I think this really enables Jamie and Akua if they decide to keep the same lineup, which seems like they are flipping. So we'll have Akua on tank with Drew and Fedora on DPS with Flip-Flop and Pusheen on support for the Hamsters. And so, you know, I'm expecting to see something like a ball from Caber to really just pressure the backline of the Nekos. And I'm guessing Akua to be on the hog, maybe? He's looking for some picks with his hooks, and obviously Fedora's really good here. Hanzo or Torbjorn, either one is going to be impactful here. But I'm not really sure how they plan to deal with something like so much spam coming from the Nekos.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. This might be partially won by the Hanzo duels. Both sides decide to use Hanzo. Obviously, great character, but really depends on what composition these teams are deciding to run here. Whalefish is so dominant on the in the first game as the Hanzo there, so I wouldn't see why you wouldn't run Hanzo. But hey, everybody has their own strategy. Everybody has their own path to victory, and I'm just interested to see what these players' path to victory are.
Ready for battle.
Oh, I got a question from the chat about how my pasta is doing apparently, and my pasta is doing great. It has been fully consumed by now. Yeah, I mean it's giving me the energy to go this far in the cast. Hopefully it'll give me a little bit more energy to close out the cast as well. So overall going good. Yeah, you gotta get pasta before the cast. It's just
what type of pasta?
It was just the I kind of like to make this like hybrid kind of like noodles with cheese. I did penne this time. Noodles, cheese, a little bit of spaghetti sauce on top. Yeah, pretty fancy. But what's gonna be more fancy is gonna be this fight that's gonna break down here. We have the Nekos on offense against. Oh gosh, Whalefish!
What is that?
Instantly shuts down the Junkrat right there. Ball comes out as well, and I think the Nekos is gonna use this as the green lights just go in.
Yeah. And they get the brig.
Yeah, and they're already on the point. They got it a third way capped already, and they're just so effective on this point right now. Fedora does get one onto May right there. And Ninja Drew gets back onto Whalefish. Okay, this can go either way.
Junkrat comes back and gets the pick 2 on the Lucio. Yeah, and the Hamsters back. And they invest window.
I think this is still going to be a winnable fight, and it definitely could be. I mean, the trades go either way. Diva picks out a cool right there as Katha gets on the point. Is he able to find anything? Not much.
Oh, Reinhardt falls. Oh, Junkrat gets picked by the big Diva.
This is just going both ways effectively. Like, it's not like one's winning, one's losing. It's kind of just like very scuffed 50-50s that nobody wants to give up. Finally, 4 members of the Nekos go down, and I think that the Hamsters gonna stop it at 2/3 of the way capped right there.
That was probably the most chaotic I can roll first point I've ever seen.
Just the snipe coming in on Ninja Drew to start it off, and then everything else just ensues.
Oh, the shatter's huge. It gets 4.
I think this is going to be the point right here. Yep, Diva jumps onto the Baptiste up top. Reinhardt goes in. Diva finally picks that up, and they do get the point right there. So now they're going to have to escort the payload, and they do have a lot of time on the clock as well. So it's a pretty good start out here for the Nekos, as well as Diva ult, Hanzo ult, and May ult.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at this May ult here. It's almost a free ultimate if they can get a good engage on it. It's basically a 1 fight.
Yeah, but it looks like...
Oh, the Arista gets an early pick. And the Blizzard comes out, but there's 2 already fallen on the Nekos.
The Blizzard comes out, but May does go down, and Ninja does take out Nord. Akua onto Kathek there, so I believe this is going to be a Hamsters temporary win, but the payload's just been moving the entire time. Akua finally gets onto it, taking down Semi-Chronic right there, and puts him into Baby Diva form. Sin trying to look back to get any damage, not really able to find anything, and we kind of reach this like lull where both teams kind of have to reset here.
Particularly, the payload doesn't actually get around that corner, so it's going to be actually really difficult for this Reinhardt-based comp of the Nekos to hold it as massive flux comes out and the lamp is burned in order to save them.
High Noon also comes out.
Gets the Whalefish Hanzo. The Nekos are forced to rotate the castle.
Yeah, but remember, the Nekos are down 1, so they're maybe inside castle. They may be able to force close range fights, but
the cast is caught up
there. Diva ult does come out. I don't think
Huge
they'll find.
shatter
Oh, he gets one.
Bomb shatter.
Yeah, but Zuzu does pick up a pick. Inlim on Sin right there as well. It's kind of going either way. We've seen a lot of these scuffed fights here where they're not one person necessarily winning. Jamie gets one on Charbotron there as well. I think this is going to be another Hamsters hold here. Just doing a great job of just holding off and splitting up the Nekos.
You can see that the Nekos are struggling to deal with the spam and the poke because they're switching to Sim here just to close the distance through the castle. Yeah.
Yeah, and they do make it into the castle. I think the swatch here, Sin, window invested, window dragon.
Reinhardt just charges in.
Junkrat out coming out, and we got the window from the Hamsters as well here. May be able to find a few. Yes, I believe that finds 2, maybe 3. Catholic does get one back onto Flip Flop though. Flux comes out, not able to find anything. Cathick's just been able to push this point so well here, but he's in it as a solo now. Not really anybody to back him up, so he's gonna need to find a way to reset. Finally, the D.Va gets back, but I think both these teams are just gonna look to reset. And Hamster's doing a great job of holding Castle here.
Yeah, the Nekos are gonna look to engage pretty quickly here though, as they try to catch the respawners off guard. Yep, the break falls as a result.
Big falls behind and invested by Fedora. Is he able to find anything? They need to break that Ryan shield if you want to do anything big. It's cancel.
And Junkrat finds the Sim.
Looks like it's going to be a Baptiste battle on high ground as Cathic just keeps pushing this cart so effectively right now. Fedora finds 2. Oh, Fedora with the flank right there. Fedora onto Cathic as well. And Flip Flop onto Charbotron. Wow, that flank by Fedora there is absolutely crazy. And I feel like every single one of these fights we see the Nekos get a pick. They're like, oh yeah, we should totally dive in. This totally is gonna work. And then they dive and it just doesn't pay off. So now they're down. They do have the Lucia ult to maybe engage off of, but they burned 3, 4, well, I think 1 or 2 ultimates in the last fight. So hopefully they're going to be able to get a few more. They're just going to do a complete team comp switch right now and try to engage in here. As the D.Va goes in, Monkey goes in, Lamp comes out, as Nort tries to go for the flank, not really able to find much, as Flip Flop does pick that up right there. Pushing gets one onto Whalefish as well. Flux comes out, able to find the Monkey, not really able to find much. Oh, there's the elimination there on the Monkey. Fedora gets one as well, and I think this might be over. It might be the Hamsters taking this.
They could get one more touch here as Charbotron is bobbing and weaving away. And the Tracer does touch the cart. Bongo's dropped from Caber. Caber is 97th primal.
Yep.
Get it? Oh, they pick Fedora.
The window comes out from the Hamsters though. Are they able to find anything? It's just Whalefish on the point right now, just trying to stall for time. Pushing's going up against Whalefish. Is he able to find anything? Not much. Whalefish is trying to stay alive. Sin goes in there as well. And they're able to get the Monkey in there. Monkey instantly gets shut down by Pushing though. Whalefish trades back onto Pushing. It's going to be very, very close here as a Kuo finally shuts them down. And that is going to be a great stop there by the Hamsters.
And that was really close to going in the Nekos' favor. It was almost disastrous for the Hamsters there. And I think actually it could be attributed to just the fact that they had positioning on the high ground and the Nekos really just had to rotate through the low ground and Hamsters could really just dictate the fight.
Yeah, Hamsters did an amazing job of dictating that fight. They stayed together on the high ground. Every time you'd see them kind of like reset to the high ground, and the Nekos were never really able to pull off an effective dive when they were trying to dive with the Monkey D.Va or any pushes with Cathic there. But now the roles kind of switch, and for the Nekos we saw a very, very fast take of point A and then just get stopped up as they started moving the cart. So I'm wondering what we're going to see here for both sides. It seems like the Hamsters, or sorry, the Nekos are just going to look to kind of repeat the same composition as well as a pocketed Echo.
Yeah, the pocketed Echo is interesting here, right? Because there's not really much on the Hamsters that can really deal with it at the moment. There's no D.Va, which to be fair isn't exactly the greatest matchup for Echo. And really the only thing that's gonna be a huge concern is gonna be flip-flop, actually.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to be honest, the only concern that the Echo and Mercy have, but that's the only case because they're so limited on hit scan characters, and Sin basically figuring that out and using the Echo here, getting a lot of damage in as they start to push up through the middle, and I think hopefully, Fedora did make a quick switch to Cassie then maybe not sure, and hopefully they're gonna be in a more favorable comp.
They find both DPS though. Fedora Master absolutely popping off. He gets 3. I think the Hamsters should be able to push in here and take first point. Fedora Master finding 4.
Should be a very easy point here. Sonic Chronic still up on the point, doing his best to defend. Whalefish manages to get back. Is he able to find anything? Just teleporting around, doing classic tracer things, but really not able to get anything. And the Hamsters do get the first point, even faster than the Nekos did.
Yeah, that was a very clean fight off of the pick on the Echo by Fedora Master. They got the pick and they engaged immediately.
Yeah, and I think Fedora's planning on going on Torgrand at the start, and then he just instantly switched it up. The second he saw Finn, he got me a little bit confused, but we see the ball jumping onto high ground, maybe able to find something. Not really finding anything as the window does come out. I think the other team's just gonna back up. They don't want to push where you have a window on high ground. It's Caver decides, no, let's not back up, let's just go in. He's gonna dive the back keys on low ground, and I believe find that yes, he does.
Whalefish finds the break though. They nano the 6 bomb. The flanking.
Fedora Master up top.
Deadeye finds 1.
Fedora's been absolutely clinical here as Cassidy is doing so well. Sin invests all, but he does get antied there.
Trey says if you can play Cass, I can play it better. But eventually he's taken down even in loop. And the Hamsters continue to roll.
The Hamsters only need to push the payload a little bit farther, and they have 4 minutes to do it, so you could definitely see a few resets here if they needed, but I don't even think they need it here as Akua is going in. Caber also jumps in, gets 2 there. He picks up Whalefish and Nort, but Catholic put asleep on the other side there. I think Fedora Master is going to be able to pick up this Elim potentially. Yes, he does right there too. Yep.
Is there any
Go for 1 touch.
Diva. And it doesn't matter.
Does not matter. The Hamsters kind of roll on the second game right there. So, yeah, interesting. Makes the series very close.
Play of the game.
Look at this Reinhardt. Massive shatter. Unfortunately, not enough to get them the win, but nonetheless a very, very pretty shatter if I say so myself.
Catholic was quite dominant as Reinhardt in that game, but unfortunately kind of forced to like switch off. You see he had most damage blocked. I mean, the awards are what the awards are, but I mean he was very dominant, but I think when the switch happened, you know, it was a little bit hard, and I guess that's the reason that they didn't actually want to fight on King's Road, because the other team has a very good Lucia Ryan composition as well.
It's interesting, right? And a lot of this can just really be attributed to the fact that they were stuck on the Reinhardt for quite a bit, and they were trying to run into a lot of spam, and eventually they just burned down the time bank that they did have. And what do you think that the Nekos have to adjust to get, you know, kind of get their feet back under them coming up into the series? It's 1-1 now, but definitely living up to the close game that we thought it'd be.
Yeah, and both games have been fairly close as a whole. What do the Nekos have to do? I think it's gonna really come down to kind of like enabling Whalefish and making sure he's able to get picks in certain situations, because you see Fedora Master not necessarily beating Whalefish in straight up 1v1s, or Ninja do not necessarily beating Whalefish in straight up 1v1s, but Fedora Master has this amazing positional play. So you see him as Cassidy just get to high ground, use his ult, get a few picks with that. Flank behind the other team, use his ult, get a few picks with that. And if you have these sort of players like Fedora, and also Caber is able to do this very, very well, just kind of like play around, get a few picks and then get out and then reset as a team and then play really, really good as a team, it's just going to be so easy to keep getting positive momentum in your favor. And that's kind of what they did on the previous map, and it worked out very well for them. But it's interesting here because we are at 1-1 and, you know, very close game.
Yeah, and the Nekos switch back to their starting lineup here, that they played on Ilios. So maybe they're anticipating something that they want to do on this map here.
And it did work out well for them in Ilios. I mean, even though it was close, you can't deny that they won the first game there. So I think if they are switching back, it's probably because they're kind of using that as a sort of like crutch. You need to like reset back, make sure everything works. And it seems like the Hamsters are going to do another one of these like big lineup switch. They put in Lol and Cool Slime, and I believe they switch out Pushin and Ninja Drill. Yes, Ninja Drill.
Yeah, and so this is scary, right? You've got Fedora and Aku on the DPS, and you're looking at that on Gibraltar, especially where, you know, DPS can have a really big impact in this, especially with the high ground at second point on shuttle. It's gonna be interesting. The matchup is gonna be quite odd. We'll see if Fedora tries to go for some hero flanks again. Not sure. Maybe they have to mark him a little bit better, keep track of where he's going, just so he can't get that much value. We'll see what they do.
If you're playing against like a ball, and I guess it's weird to say a flanking Cassidy, but a flanking Cassidy nonetheless, or any flanking characters, you kind of have to do a good job as a team of like marking. Your supports kind of have to be sound in a sense where they'll call out exactly where these players are, if they're going right, left, center, teleporting somewhere, doing anything crazy, and it's just gonna come down to, I guess, like figuring out exactly who goes who and kind of countering the other team in a sense.
Ready for battle.
Let's see. Let's see what these teams are going for. Interesting. Oh no, we got trolled. Nort doing a little bit of trolling. I was very excited to see the cleave comp come out from the Nekos, as I know Trey is a huge fan of the cleave comp. But they're going in for a little bit more of a traditional dive.
Yeah,
with the brig.
Traditional dive, I think, is smart here. They have a very good team for it, and if you can get Whalefish in the Hamsters backline, you can do a lot. But I mean, the Hamsters have very good counters for it in Fedora Master and also Cool Slime on Brig, so I think they're going to be ready for whatever comes in this match here. Scan does come out as Monkey just goes straight in, but Caber coming in for the ambush immediately after.
They body block him.
Comes out, Sleep comes out as well.
That was a really good body block by Caber on the Monkey. You can see Trey trying to get out, but he just found a ball in his face.
Yeah, and that did end up shutting down the Monkey, so the Nekos are going to have to take a second, do a little reset, but it's not going to be much of a cost, as I think we have Caber still kind of looking for his classic flanks, as Akua shuts down Sin again.
Melted. I would be crying so much right now as Trey.
Yeah, and it seems like the Nekos are kind of going in one at a time, but they are doing a good job of pushing payload. They do get it sort of all the way through as Whalefish.
Trey can't do more. He's on the hog now. Flip the no! Flip under the no! Oh no! Trey with a huge pick.
Genji out comes out, or no, Hanzo out comes out right there.
A little bit of a lull in the fight.
Yeah, a little bit of a lull in the fight as Trey kind of ready to go in here. Looking for anything he can find. Kind of getting backed up on the back line. The rest of the team also pushes in with him.
They nano the brig here.
Call nano the brig.
Whalefish goes down, however. Again, a back and forth fight.
Akua takes down Sin right there. And now advantage is kind of in the favor of the Hamsters right here, as just the diva up top are they really able to find her? Yes, they are. Nork has to reset back, and Nork does get demacked. Akua's gonna go into it. See if he can find that pick right there, but I think they're just gonna take that reset.
And as the Nekos here, you're looking at a really tough fight here as you're walking into 4 or 5 ults, and the dragon comes out just to zone them away. You're really just gonna have to rely on an early pick from the hog here.
But they have built up art. They do have the Diva ult as well as the visor if they want to kind of start an engagement. Flip-flop picking up one under Charvatron there though. That's going to be unfortunate for the momentum
Oh,
of
the ball gets melted though.
Yeah, that's one thing you gotta be careful about. When your ball, you gotta make sure you're not getting picked. The Diva ult does come out. It's probably gonna instigate the fight. Not able to find anything though. Dora gets one onto Whalefish. Anti comes out from one. Not really able to find that much though.
The
60 seconds.
Hamsters are just playing so well. They're kiting all this aggression that the Nekos are trying to put onto them, and they kind of just control the high ground here on Gibraltar. It's really tough for the Nekos to push in here. Catholic does find Fedora Master though.
Yes, but they're pushing as a team of 2 supports and a Whalefish. Not able to find much. Flux comes out, Ball comes out with his ultimate there. They get 2 there, I believe. It's just gonna be Charvatron trying to stay alive on point against the enemy Brig.
Oh, but the break goes down. They could look for one more fight here.
Yep, they're gonna
the ball is back. They'll definitely have another touch.
They will have another touch, but they do need to regroup as a team. They don't have any ultimates built up, and the Hanzo does have his dragon as well as the rally from the Brig and Cool Slime. Probably gonna see these ults used here.
There's the rally.
Yes, there's rally, there's dragon. We're gonna use that to get a pick onto Whalefish already. This will be an early huge pick by them. And looks like the Hamsters being so dominant. Fedora Master finds one onto Sin right here. Caber trying to go
Nano's
in.
out, and they do not touch.
Yeah, that
the
was.
Hamsters zone them away.
That was just dominance from the Hamsters right there. That's all I can say. I don't know. These escort maps just going, or any map with an escort-esque like component is just going in their favor.
The DPS of the Hamsters are just they're on fire. They're rolling. Akua and Fedora are just hitting shots. And what can you do? What can you do as the Nekos here? I'm not sure what maybe they try to go for something like double shield on defense. Maybe something a little more death volley. Not really sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I would say double shield, but also at the same time they put Catholic on support, and Catholic's their typical Reinhardt in this case. Looks like they're gonna decide to go with the Orisa and the Hog instead for this defense. It's an interesting combination because the Mercy's not really able to get like an amazing pocket here. Oh, thank you, by the way, for that raid. I was just looking on the side right there. Natter with a huge raid, giving all the viewers. We'd love to see that right there. And if you're just joining us, welcome. This is going to be the Gopherwatch League action right now. It's currently 1-1 between the Hamsters in blue and the Nekos in red. And let the action speak for itself. And these enemy teams are going in right here, looking for a little bit of damage, looking for a little bit of aggression as Caper goes in as all, trying to get anything he can, and then the monkey proceeds to dive in immediately
with a
after.
Sliver of HP.
Yep, and it looks like fighting's gonna kind of come to a lull here. They have done a really good job of pushing the card underneath this upper structure, but Zig doesn't pick up onto Akua. Now the Hamsters are thinking, oh, we probably got to reset, wait for our Genji to return here.
Oh, Sin's not looking too good there as he gets slept and antied.
And it looks like the Hamsters are going to kind of try to use this as their opportunity to try and push up here, try to make their way onto the point. But Caber gets absolutely shut down by Soldier there. Lamp comes out, instantly shut down by the ball right there. Doors
Nano
going
Reaper.
in. And Nano Reaper, okay.
They just
Respectable.
kite away.
Yeah.
Well, they
And
find a
then-
Baptiste though. Genji finds the Baptiste. This is big. This is huge. Monkey does fall. And the res on the Baptiste comes through.
Yeah, but it's a great job for the Nekos kind of like resetting here, and they do have such a long hold they have to pull off. The cart only needs to get pushed only a little bit farther as we see Norton, Sin, the tanks trying to push their way in, but Akua just ahead of them, not really able to find much as Sin does get slept right there. Great sleep by the Ana in Jamie, and kind of just resetting. It's Caver on high ground.
Oh, big by the Hog. However, he does trade his life for it.
Window coming out by Catholic as they're using that to kind of hold position. Might be a little bit wasted though as Caver able to jump in at the last second, and that's just a distraction as Akua goes in, finds Charbitron, finds Whalefish. Is he able to find anything else? I don't know if he is there. Yeah,
Oh,
he's able to find
gets
Nord
the
at the end.
3 with the raw blade.
Yes, and then now it's just going to be Sin left. If he can do anything to stall this point out, he can, but he needs to wait for his teammate to come back. He gets slept, he gets woken up, he gets antied, completely shut down there.
Oh,
comes out by
Whalefish? Oh, they
Whalefish,
don't
and
touch. Oh, no.
Hamsters take game 3.
It was actually looking so good for them there.
Play of the game.
And this has got to be the play of the game. Akua, the ball goes into distraction, and everybody's leaning the wrong way. And look how easy this is for him. He finds one, finds two, and able to get that third at the end right there. That was clinical by Akua right there.
So, absolutely beautiful by Akua.
Epic.
All the upvotes, all the awards do go to Sin there. But I don't know, in my opinion, Sin didn't really play that well into kind of like the team comp overall. I think he made a good switch, but the team comp was a little bit scuffed because of the fact that they was using a Roadhog into sort of like a dive comp. But I guess that shouldn't be too nitpicky about that. And probably going to expect to see a 2CP veto here, as we typically do. We'll see Sin asking already. And yeah.
And yeah, I'm not really, sure what the Nekos are, thinking right now. If they're, it seems like they're trying to find answers to, what they're facing. As you can kind of see the swaps come through, and just unfortunately for them, stuff just hasn't been working. It's kind of just been people trying to do their own thing, and they're just not meshing as well as they were on Ilios.
And it's sort of, I feel like, easy to kind of mesh well on those maps where it's like, oh, you just stick together as a team and you control the point together. Yeah, that's cool. But when you implement this aspect of like actually getting like touches on a cart and pushing a payload, it gets a little bit more complex. And when you get these like sort of dynamics between high ground and low ground that we kind of saw on Gibraltar there, I think it'll make it a little bit interesting. And it looks like Sin and the Nekos are going to decide to go on to King's Row. So I think we're going to see a little bit of a team comp switch up there from Sin. Yes, they're going to bring back in Sonic, and they're going to take out Catholic, I believe.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Oh no, Cath on tank. Sorry about that. Yeah, you continue.
Yeah, this is interesting, right? Because the Hamsters don't have a really, big Reinhardt player other than maybe Lowell is probably my best guess at their Reinhardt. And you've got Catholic here, and Reinhardt's obviously just absolutely dominant on KR. The Reinhardt home turf. And Whalefish again is just looking to be a menace. He's gonna, I think, try to find a little bit more off angles. He was pretty confined on Gibraltar. So we'll see what they can do here, and we might maybe see a May come out from Trey as well to counter the rush.
Yeah, but for we're looking at the hamsters. I mean, we obviously got to talk about the Jamie on Lucio, and it might be Cool Slime on Baptiste. I'd assume at least. I'm not 100% sure. Um,
No, it
oh,
might be
Cool
the
Slime
other way
probably on
around.
Lucio. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's probably a little bit, and then Jamie on Baptiste. So I guess yeah, that's mostly what
Interestingly though,
we're yeah.
they put Caber on the DPS. What do you think's gonna happen here?
Well, I'm okay with Caber on the DPS just because Fedora's obviously been like pretty dominant in his
Now
role as
entering
DPS,
the
and
King Zone.
Caber's more of a ball player, and
Initiating
obviously ball on
conversion.
King's Row would be a little bit wacky in my opinion from my Overwatch experience thus far. So, I think that I guess placing Akua and Lol, maybe they're planning on having Akua go as the Reinhardt here. I guess we'll see in about 8 seconds, and yeah, some big plays probably going to happen in these next few moments.
I'm
So
expecting to see a Fedora
Ready
either
for
cast or
battle.
Junker. Yeah, and there's
yeah,
the cast from Fedora. Interestingly, we see Sin starting out on the Widow here. I assume just to go first point Widow and just maybe look for an early pick and then swap off.
Let's
But
not waste time. I have tickets to a show tonight.
the
yeah.
Reaper for Whalefish opting not to play the Hanzo on KR here.
We saw Sin in the chat say Fedora go Widow as Sin sits on Widow, and Fedora replies maybe on maybe on the other map, because you know that Widow, you can kind of play Widow. She can grab a cheeky pick here at the start. So we'll see if Sin's able to find anything off the start here. Fires a few shots, but unfortunately got a bubble on the Zarya already, so not really able to find anything.
Heads back to swap. The Nekos do take a bit of space here as they rotate all the way across.
Yep, their Doomfist is split up right now.
They don't know. They don't know.
There's no way to know, and
Oh, Fedora knows.
Fedora
Yeah, Fedora
Fedora
knows.
knows.
He's been scouted.
Yes, you got the 1v1 between the Doomfist and the Castian, and the big fight breaking down
Big
here.
in by Cap. The Nekos collapse on the Hamsters. Sin comes
Yeah.
back on the Doomfist.
Fedora got called out there, but Akua trades back onto Sin. Slime also goes down. Sorry, just doing their best to stay alive, but unfortunately life is hard to come by in this situation, as I believe they're going to be able to, the Nekos are going to be able to take the first point right here and initiate the push.
That was a really cool, interesting set play there by the Nekos, flanking the entire team around, waiting for their Doomfist to get, behind the enemy team. Unfortunately, Fedora couldn't make much use of their scouting early. Huge flash though on the Reinhardt. They pick him off early there.
Yeah, and it looks like the Hamsters are going to use this to kind of take some space. They don't go too aggressive off the push though. They kind of let the other teams kind of stay behind. Don't really push that hard. Leave the Catholic's able to reset. Off that, Catholic's going to switch. Polissus does come out by Nort. So huge anti by the opposing.
Huge dragon.
Oh, that picks up too.
They're still even though here, and the Hamsters are down there Reinhardt, so they don't really have much space to play with, as the Nekos do push the cart past their choke.
Yeah, you kind of need that Reinhardt as kind of like a backbone to your team, holding up the shield, protecting basically all angles on King's Row, because it does turn into sort of these like big fights, group fights between both teams.
Oh, big anti, and
on
then
the side there.
comes out. Catholic drops the hammer. The Nanos invested on the Hamsters Reinhardt.
But the Catholic does pull back their Reinhardt. I think they're going to be able to pick up that heal in there. Yes, they are. Sin trades back on Fedora, but it's going to be a little bit too late, as I believe the Nekos' entire front line is basically called out. Akua playing very ambitious, looking for something there, is able to get one on Whalefish, and Sin does go down there, and I think that the Nekos is just going to have to look for a reset here as a group here. Yes, Whalefish and Sin do meet back up with the team, and they're able to reinitiate the push, but a great hold and also a great force back from the Hamsters. And Akua with another pick onto Nort. This is massive by Akua right now.
looking at the ults here though, it's gonna be again a pretty heavy investment of ults as we go in here. Each team with 4 ultimates almost.
Yeah, basically 3 and 4. We're gonna see which ultimates are actually decided to be used here. The hammer goes out.
The hammer's
gosh.
huge.
That's just gonna be too many picks to call. I think that's gonna be a team kill right there, and probably the quickest wipe ever. But I mean, the Nekos still have ult advantage, so we're gonna look to see if they're able to pull off something that big when they have their ultimates in their favor. They're gonna look to push up, and I believe we have Fedora Master going for a little cheeky flank right now. Yeah, he sets the turret on the window, and just trying to get a little bit of damage off here. Not really able to find much. He's gonna have to reset back. As fight on the actual payload is starting to commence right here as Catholic leading the charge. Nort pulls out the Coalescence. Able to find flip-flop there.
All the way behind the enemy team.
Yep. Nort picks up 3 there actually, as he does find both supports and the Hanzo, but now not be able to find much else as see if they can get a big push off here. They do find a Kua and Lol, both the tanks down right there. It's just gonna be up to Fedora and his turret if he can make a stop here, and it doesn't look like they're gonna be able to. So Nekos take it to the second checkpoint already, and they do find a nice pick on Fedora if they want to kind of mistime the teams.
Yeah, that was huge, right? They actually won that fight without actually having to use that many ults, and they're coming back here and with 5 ults of their own. And the Hamsters really only have 3. And oh my, it's huge. It's huge. The Shatter plus the Deadeye, it gets 4, and that's a team fight win right there.
That is an instant team fight win, and that investment is huge because if you look, oh, you typically use your ult, you're down on ult. No, you still got the default, you still got the Reaper ult. Moria basically has their ult, you still got the beat. So you're able to make a huge push, and all they have is their hammer. The D.Va ult does come out right there. Not really able to find much, as they are just pushing down the line here. Are able to make some big
But
big
Lol
smash.
returns his own Shatter.
Yes, and that's going to be 2 picks right there. Akua finds one as well. Get the DMAC, and I believe this is going to be a full team wipe onto the Nekos now.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Catholic really went in really deep there, charged into the enemy team and lost his life because of it. The team wasn't really able to follow him up.
Yeah, but now when they're reset as a team, we're going to see what they're going to be able to do. They have the Reaper ult, Moria ult, and the Lucia
Oh,
ult.
and it gets cancelled! What a sweep! Mid-animation.
That was a huge sleep right there, as D.Va also gets DMAC by Akua. Are going to start pushing up. We see that all is going to push in. Both hitting the other Reinhardt trade-off. They're just going to duel here, see who actually gets this win. Moria drops her ult to kind of support here. Coalescence doing a great job of pushing them back.
The grab is invested, but there's not really...
Grab Dragon, they do the Grab Dragon.
Too.
Caber finds 3, Caber finds a 4th, or Akua finds a 4th and a 5th right there, and that's going to be another full team wipe for the Hamsters.
Rendezvous at my position.
And the Hamsters looking really good here as their ults are cycling very well now. And then you're looking at the Nekos team and you almost have nothing. And it's not looking good here. The Nekos will try to play it safe, try to see if they can get an opening pick.
I mean, they have 2 pushes effectively that they can play through here, so they do have a little bit of time to build ults. We're going to see if the Hamsters decide to use any. Yes, Torbjorn pulls out his ult right there.
Oh, the Shatter is blocked by Catholic, but the Nano just really carries the Reinhardt through the fight.
Whalefish does find a trade into Akua with the Dragon. Fedora does find a trade with his ultimate. Sonic Chronic able to pick up 1. Fedora just trying to stay alive on point, do basically whatever he can, but I think now it's just
actually
yeah.
pull that off, yeah.
Neko's able to pick up some big picks right there. Akua's back on point, Coolstime's back on point. He's just gonna come down to this last fight. Catholic has his hammer, we're expecting to use it, but Coolstime with the beat right there. Not really able to find much. Catholic actually gets picked right there. That's gonna be
Fedora on the bastion though, finds 2. And I think that's gonna call it there. Lies is invested, finds Coolstime. Cole finds the Ana. Dragon on the flank clears off the supports, however.
He's gotta go for the touch. Are they able to find anything? And they are not. Oh, that was so close.
So the Hamsters do actually end up defending third point, but
0
I-
to 2.
I don't know about you, but the Nekos look significantly better on this map than they did at least on Gibraltar.
The Nekos looked amazing. They almost took that the entire way through King's Row, and I mean, it's gonna be, even though King's Row is one of the sort of longer maps where we expect most teams to get there, I think the Nekos are gonna have to put up a pretty big stop here if they want to see Game 5 in this series right now. Remember, it is 2 games to the Hamsters, 1 game to the Neko, and it is a best of 5 series, so it's gonna be seeing if the Hamsters are able to push it all the way through King's Row. They will be able to pick up this win here as Sin on Sombra. That's interesting here.
See you later.
I'm actually anticipating this quite a bit as I myself an avid Sombra enjoyer. I know Trey Sombra is something else to watch.
I will say I have a newfound appreciation for Sombra from one of my good buddies. You may know him. His name is Jack. He told me just be toxic, and I mean I like Sombra now. It's fun to just be toxic.
You know, it's the mind games, right? And I know that the Hamsters have been well known for, you know, sometimes losing momentum after having a bit of some stalls just coming out from just the mismatches that their comp can sometimes run into, and Sombra is one of them. But
yeah.
Fedora here on the Torbjorn should be able to help mitigate that issue. As it looks like they're actually gonna try to do the same thing the Nekos
I'm
did.
out of here.
Bit of a flank, but the Nekos are doing something interesting as well. They're meeting them on high ground.
Yeah, and they have that Sombra intel to kind of see what happens right there, see where they're pushing out. We get 2 trades, one for both teams, so it's still pretty even in this fight overall.
Critically, the Reinhardt falls though.
Yes, the Reinhardt does fall. That's gonna kind of slow down a little bit of the push right here as Catholic's able to hold down the point for now. Able to push through. Dora does get hacked and falls right there to the Sombra, but Akua trades on back. Akua does get D-Max trying to play for his life here.
Kevin with the shatter, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. No, it will not be.
Nor if it will. Akua does pick up one under Whalefish there as well, and yes, this is gonna be a good reset. Akua doing a great job as Baby Diva, picking up a few critical picks there, and kind of in the favor of Hamsters as of right now.
As they say, Baby Diva's better than normal Diva.
I've heard that, and personally, when I play Diva, I just go into destroy my mech, and then immediately after, you know, play as DPS as Baby Diva.
Mecha's just extra shield for your Baby Diva, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I could have to agree, but Dora actually gets
fine
right there.
But the shatter gets blocked by Cat. Gets pinned, however, by Cole. And he does fall.
Dora does invest 4 lessons, so he's able
Lamp
to
has
kind
to
of
be burned
stall
though
here.
for the Reinhardt.
Yeah, Coalescence is able to push him off the point, and now kind of have to focus on what can Sin do with his ultimate here, because if he's able to get a big flank, the EMP could be absolutely massive. Look, he gets the teleporter in, trying to find an angle. Dragon does come out there, not able to find anything. He's gonna go for the, yep, there's the ult there for Sin, but Akua picks up 2. Trades going both ways here as Baptiste.
Oh, Catholic drops the slam. It could still go either way. It's just support still for the Hamsters as Flip Up does find the Moira, but it looks like the Nekos will get a soft win, but the Hamsters are already back.
Yeah, but it's only half the Hamsters team versus I think a little bit more of the Nekos here. So instead the Nekos have a slight advantage up to the rest of the Hamsters. Get back, grab invested, B comes out.
Big lamp though, saves it, right? Catholic falls.
Also drops down the window there. Enables
Fedora just
Fedora to pick up 2 right there. Fedora able to push up with their team there. That's going to be 3. It's just going to be Whalefish left, not able to find anything. They're not afraid to push them back, so they see the Lucio. They're going to go for that. It's just going to be Lucio and Sombra there, just trying to stay alive. Sombra is able to make it out, but Lucio unfortunately falls and kind of gets mistimed there.
I think if you're Trey here, you need to use EMP and swap off.
Yeah, I think you do too. It's not really playing well for the team
Sombra's-
comp. You
yeah.
get a good EMP here.
Oh, and the Shatter just gets 3, and that's a clean fight win for the Hamsters again as they round the final bend.
Yeah, and they have 4 minutes to just go a little distance. They're gonna get some of this distance for free, so the other team actually needs to look for a touch very, very shortly. Torb uses his ult to kind of zone off the opponents.
Oh, the Reiner doesn't touch
one, and no way, Hamsters just won that. That was crazy.
Hamsters roll through KR to get their game win.
Play of the game.
And
You see the Shatter noon from Sly on 3rd point here. Absolutely massive.
wow. Yeah, that was crazy right there. That Deadeye. Wow, and a match that we thought was going to be close and started a little bit close just turned into the Hamsters kind of rolling there in a sense. So, I mean, yeah, it's great to see.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna have to pick match MVP here.
Yeah, so I don't know. Who would you think that the MVP is in this case, Naga?
You know, if I've got something to say in the matter, and you know, if I gotta put in my 2 cents.
You're a caster. You it's your 2 cents and my 2 cents. It's just us here. Yeah.
It's just us. Yeah, you know, Fedora Master is popping off. He's putting in the flanks as the Cassidy. He's putting in the damage as Torbjorn. He's really, you know, putting in the damage on that DPS role. Akua really also putting in his own weight as the Zarya King's role. But if I had to pick, I think I'd have to pick Fedora Master in my case here.
Okay. I was gonna say you kind of stole my thunder there because I was actually gonna say the exact same thing. Akua, Fedora, and also kind of K-Bra's ball too. Just a quick shout out to him as well. Their entire team was clinical as working as a team, working it out together. But I mean, you can't deny those sort of like big picks that Fedora Master was able to find. So I think that yeah, I'm cool with Fedora as MVP for this match, and we'll see if we can get him in here for the interview as soon as possible. Yeah, there he is. Welcome, Fedora.
Legend.
What? Anyways, about that airline food, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. How about yourself? What were your thoughts on the match? You got to break it down for us from the Hamsters' perspective.
This is the first match this season I started hard calming, so that's
I
the thing.
see.
Yeah,
You put the gloves
we
on.
actually started like actually fight planning for once this season, and it kind of helped.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you guys looked great.
Yeah, and we're talking about it on stream. The team comps looked amazing. How you guys played together and how you sort of utilized flanking, utilized sort of timing as a whole was absolutely clinical there.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, a lot of it was like, okay, I'm flanking now. Look up for an engage, so they're not looking at me on the flank. That's basically what I basically just yell, I am flanking, do something, and then that's how it worked.
Yeah, your Cassidy on Eichenwald was if I must say, doing some things.
Yeah,
Getting
flash
behind
fanning
the
a lot because I
lines.
can't aim. Yep.
Your aim seemed fine for me personally, Fedora. If I do say so myself, I think you did.
I mean, there's a
amazing
reason why.
out there.
I mean, MJ did great on Hanzo, but there's a reason why I didn't play Hanzo, and it's not been looking. Last 2 days, it's not been. It's yeah. Anyways.
Well, if I ask the clinical, the normal caster question, if you had to pick someone on your team besides yourself to be MVP, who would it
I mean, everyone on my team did like pretty great. I mean, everyone was active in the comms. Randy was extra active in the comms, but I think, honestly, Drew. If I could give it to Drew, his performance in Eichenwald was actually insane. I'm not gonna lie, that really boosted my mood a lot. But if I have
be?
to pick
The
someone
ringer
who's,
diff.
yeah. But I mean, if I have to pick someone like actually for my team, I would probably say Flip Flop because she helped a lot with the fight planning and yelling at people microing their positions.
Yeah. All right.
That was
What
really
what do,
helpful.
yeah, what are you sort of expecting here coming into playoffs? Because you said this was kind of like the first games you're actually calming as a team and you're actually kind of like finding your team chemistry, team rhythm. So, are you expecting playoffs to be a little bit different than the start of the season for you?
I would hope so. I mean, if I'm able to just focus, because it's the hard thing from DPS for calming, because you want to focus on your micro plays a lot, because DPS is a lot of micro, which is like individual stuff. But if I can like, because on Torb I'm fine with my micro, I can just no brain my micro and just focus on macroing and the team and microing other players. I feel like if I'm able to do that more, then we could be a pretty good team in the playoffs.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
looking forward to it. You guys look really good coming into playoffs. You guys can really take it to some of these top seed teams.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And there's anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to get off your plate here? Anything for
Um,
the hamsters?
Randy is goaded. I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Fedora. Congratulations on your win. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your MVP. And I gotta say, best of luck in playoffs because I'm so excited for them to start up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
rooting for you guys.
We do back to the void.
Back to the void you go, Fedora. Rip. All right. Yep. All right. So I believe that's gonna be it for me and Naga here. Naga, do you want to close us off today?
Yeah, I guess I can. Well, yeah. So that closes our match. Honolulu Hamsters taking it to the Nekos, 3-1, and I guess we'll see you at the playoffs, guys. Welcome to the Gopherwatch League, and we'll see you next time.